Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics of the day and the biggest moves in the stock market. Excuse me. It is presented with comedic common sense and just the right amount of sarcasm by an expert in financial literacy. And hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. All right, today is Monday, August 29th, and I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And of course, you can find repeats of the show on Rumble and Spotify. Please search Money Chat Now and Larry Steinhouse on Spotify, and there you can find me as well. And of course, if you'd like to connect to me personally, go to contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com, and there you will find my social media connections, my email, my text message information, and everything you need to know to just contact me. So go to contactlarry.com. Hey, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button. By the way, Betsy, if you're watching, I really appreciate it. I notice you share this show all the time. I also want to thank Barbara for sharing the show, and it looks like I think Pete also shares the show too. And if I didn't mention you, don't worry. I'm going to write a whole list of all the people who share it today and make sure I mention it tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook, and you can find Money Chat Now and the Larry Steinhouse Show again on Spotify, so please go there and subscribe. Hey, you can comment live during the show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And if you're brand new to the show, hey, say hi so I know you're watching. By the way, if you're commenting from a group and it's not the Money Chat Now fan page, your name may not show up on my dashboard, so please go to the Money Chat Now page, like it, and comment there so I can recognize you. On today's show, we're going to be talking about, of course, the recap and the miserable day it was Friday. We're going to be talking about Chinese stocks. We're going to be asking the question, does the FBI control Facebook? Like, I really need to ask that question. And of course, we're going to be talking about the Artemis Rocket. This is interesting. All right, Money Chat Now, as you know, is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock option trading from those who do it every day. Hey, come on, guys. You must know somebody who would really enjoy the show, maybe for the great market advice or the comedic parodies. Look, Peter and Tom and Bill and Seth and Glenn and Tom, I see you guys all watching. Hey, why don't you hit that share button right now, Mike, and even Linda. Say hi and also share the show. So go there, say share the show. Hit the share button and share it on your page, or share it in some groups that you know would probably enjoy the show. All right, let's get started with the recap and let's talk about what's going on. Oh man, Friday was brutal. Oh man. The Dow closed down over 1,000 points, but the NASDAQ was worse. It closed down over 500 points. Boy, I got that one very wrong. I thought the market would pop on the news that the Fed had a handle on inflation. Well, Powell, of course, went over his notes, and he said nothing unexpected, but in his address, he mentions the phrase, more pain. More pain. Why would he do that? Seriously, why would he have to say more pain? Can he say something positive, like we're doing what we can to fight inflation and it's starting to work? Seriously? It is starting to work. Are we fighting? We are obviously fighting inflation and housing prices and sales on the obviously going down right now. It's obvious, right? Even gas is going down. It's gone down $1 a gallon. And these are the biggest places that inflation hits us. So why can't Powell just say it's starting to work and we will be adjusting accordingly? Is he stupid, or is he and Nancy Pelosi have short positions in the market? The fear, of course, continued hiking interest rates, and that's going to be a problem. We're going to have another substantial rate increase, like the 75 basis point increase, but Wall Street wondering when it will stop or when the Fed might reduce rates. That's the major issue, and that's why we had such a bad day on Friday. The day was a day to pick up some stocks, and today may be another bargain day. Remember that earnings season is over, and we are heading for the next dead zone in about 30 days. If you don't know what the dead zone is, you need to come to Investor Schooling. I'm going to teach you that. The theory I teach, and it's a great theory. That should be the low point of the market before the next earnings season. The two biggest losers on Friday were, believe it or not, 3M and NVIDIA. 3M, I don't know, 3M is actually pretty attractive at a price of $130 now, paying a dividend of 4.62%. I like that stock, so if you wanted to buy a dividend-paying stock, that might be a good one. NVIDIA, to me, is still too expensive and may not be the place with all the consumer and corporate discretionary spending starting to drop. Companies certainly won't be adding computers, and consumers certainly won't be buying extra computers, so I can't see them doing too well in the future. It's the same with any of the computer chip companies. Yep, they got their initial pop from the chip bill, but it's going to take years to make that bill an actuality. The plant's going to need to be built, and that will take a while. The Dow may be also looking at testing the lows of June. In June, the Dow was under 30,000. Like I've been saying that the current range is 30,000 to 33,000, and this may be pretty accurate. The Dow closed about 32,000, and that would mean it still has another 2,000 points to go to reach that bottom level of the range. As Powell says, expect more pain. The other issue, of course, was the bond rate that increased to 3.11% this morning, and that always makes the NASDAQ stock drops, especially Apple. Watch Apple's stock. It may be a play soon. Look, if you're worried about today, you should remember that after a big drop often comes a dead cat bounce. Yep, a dead cat bounce. For those who never heard the term before, it comes from the fact that even a dead cat bounces if you throw it off the roof. Why Wall Street uses this unusual term is a mystery, but the history says it was first used in 1985 to describe a Malaysian stock market rally the day after a crash. So expect a possible dead cat bounce today. If it's the case, look for bargains in the morning. I did notice that the futures market was down about 350 points last night, but it's starting to settle a little bit. All right, let's take a look at the futures and see what the market may bring us today. All right, it looks like right now the Dow is still down 274 points. At one point, it was down just about 100 for a little while earlier. The S&P is down 40, and of course the NASDAQ is still down 155. Those are killer numbers. That's pretty bad, actually. So it's not real good. All right, real quick, I want to say hello to a bunch of people who have joined us online so far. We've got, let's see, it looks like, if I haven't already said hello to you, we've got John and Glenn and Tom and Peter and Bill and my brother Seth and Carl. Hey, we got Carl from Romania. Everybody say hello to Carl from Romania. We got James and we got Jose watching on YouTube. Thank you, guys. We've got Ken and we got Kevin and we got Charles. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you guys. And if you guys can all share this, I really would appreciate it. All right, let's talk about some Chinese stocks. Hey, if you haven't noticed, I certainly did, by the way, the Chinese stocks listed on the New York Stock Exchange have been tanking for the past year. Alibaba, the so-called Chinese Amazon, is down from its all-time high of 311 in 2021 to a dismal 98 today, and went as low as 74. Other Chinese stocks like Baidu and NIO also took major hits in the past year and a half, right? So this was because the threat of these companies might be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange. It all started when the regulators of the New York Stock Exchange wanted to enforce rules that allowed for audits of the companies listed on the exchange. The Chinese government had a serious problem with this and refused to allow the U.S. to audit the books of Chinese companies. For the most part, the Chinese companies had no problem with the audits. In fact, it would be in their best interest to cooperate, especially if their bookkeeping is accurate and not deceiving. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was this company called Luckin Coffee, and they plunged 90%. The stock plunged 90%. It went from like 30 to 3 in one day when it was discovered that the company, who was the Chinese Starbucks, was cooking the books to make it look like they had about 100 times the revenue that they really had. The CFO was arrested, and the stockholders were left holding a cold cup of coffee. Well, regulators of the New York Stock Exchange continued to push the subject and threatened to delist all Chinese companies from the New York Stock Exchange. As we got closer to that date, the Chinese stocks continued to drop. Well, it looks like an agreement has been reached when the China Securities Regulatory Commission and the U.S. Public Company Accounting Oversight Board announced Friday that both sides have signed an agreement for cooperation in inspecting the audit and basically the basic papers of the U.S. listed companies. This is enormous, and it might be an opportunity in the making. The Public Oversight Board said it planned to have inspectors on the ground in China by mid-September and make a determination in December on whether China was obstructing access to audit information. It's possible that many Chinese stocks will be delisted from possible fraud in these audits. However, if the audits are allowed and they are clean, these stocks will roar. It might be a good idea to watch them, maybe for a month or so, and wait to be sure that decision isn't just a smokescreen to delay the audits before jumping in. I would look at Alibaba as a possible play. If it turns out to be true and the audit finds nothing unusual, I would expect Alibaba to go up about 50% in the next 6 months. It might be a play. As for me, I was so burnt in Alibaba last year that I don't even want to think about it. All right, let's take a break here. I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. We'll see you then.
Okay, so you thought about buying and selling real estate. You've thought about investing in the stock market, but don't know where to start. Well, what if you could find a place to unlock strategies to master both real estate and the stock market, all without the headache? That place is Investor Schooling, hosted by Larry 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. Or visit investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to welcome you back to the show. Of course, we are live here on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And you can also find repeats of the show on Rumble and Spotify. Please search Money Chat Now and Larry Steinhouse on Spotify. Like and subscribe there. I'd appreciate it. And if you'd like to connect with me personally, go to contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com. There you'll find all my social media connections, my email, and my text message information. That's contactlarry.com. All right, a couple of people online I want to say hello to. We have Charles. Look at that. We have Ken Gold. Come on, Ken. Where were you the other day when I was talking about student loans, man? You would have loved it. I was saying how great it was that they were forgiving the student loans. Listen to the video. All right, we also have John, and we have Michael, and another Michael, and Ed, and Tom. Thank you guys. I so appreciate you guys. And Tom says, hey, Larry and the cool kids. So all you guys are cool kids if you guys are watching this show. Queen to Tommy, I have to agree with you, but there's no one cooler than me because I'm wearing this jacket. All right, I also want to remind you that we're having an amazing one-day event on September 17th. This is an all-day event featuring some of the most brilliant minds in business, including Hannah Kessler, the single millionaire chick, Chris Noggle, the money multiplier, Bill Walsh, the rainmaker, and myself, Larry Steinhouse, the host of Money Chat Now and the CEO of Investor Schooling. It's an in-person event and seats are selling fast. Get yours now at 4mmw.com. That's 4mmw.com. Some of you guys who might have tried to do it this weekend, we had an internet problem, or we had a URL problem, whatever it was, a website problem, but it's now fixed. So go to 4mmw.com. That's 4mmw.com and get your tickets. All right, of course, we've been talking about the recap and how bad it was on, oh my goodness, on Friday it was down 1,000 points. We talked about Chinese stocks and the possibility of that coming back. And now we're going to be talking about the FBI controlling Facebook. We're going to be talking about the Artemis Rocket and, of course, today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button yet? Everybody hit that like button. Everybody hit the like button right now. Just hit the like button. Also, did you hit the share button? Come on, hit the share button. I want to thank you for sharing if you already have, and I want to thank you for sharing if you're about to. Leave me a comment, say hi if you haven't already. And, of course, don't forget to order my new book called Money Hacks. And if you ordered it, please leave a review on Amazon. I really appreciate you guys. I'm getting some great reviews on that book, and I really appreciate you guys reading it. And if you haven't ordered it already, go to Barnes & Noble or Amazon or wherever fine books are sold and order Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse. All right, let's talk about the FBI and Facebook. Well, we all knew it. We knew that the Democrats and the FBI use Facebook to lie and cheat us. Now, finally, Mark Zuckerberg actually admitted the truth. Zuckerberg was interviewed on Joe Rogan's podcast last week, and it was enlightening. I don't know about you, but I've been put in Facebook jail, and my YouTube accounts have been deleted by these clowns running the social media platforms because of the term misinformation. Well, apparently, all of you have been put in Facebook jail or in Twitter jail for spreading the true information about Hunter Biden's laptop or owed an apology and retribution. In the now very controversial interview, Joe Rogan asked Zuckerberg about how and why the Hunter laptop story was deemed misinformation and why accounts were closed or people being put in Facebook jail for links to articles about the topic. Apparently, the FBI told Facebook that a huge stack of misinformation was about to be dropped. This misinformation was Hunter Biden's laptop. Facebook was told to suppress any information about the laptop and stop the spread of what was called another Russian hoax to get Trump elected. Mark Zuckerberg literally told Joe Rogan that Facebook algorithmically censored the Hunter Biden laptop story for 7 days based on a general request from the FBI to restrict election misinformation. Oh, is this the same FBI that just raided President Trump's home? Ah, was this the same FBI that refused to investigate Hillary Clinton and the other mob politicians? It's no wonder why the public doesn't trust the FBI in any way at all. This and the admission of censorship of the truth by Zuckerberg should wake up the masses. What else are we being lied about? Oh wait, that's easy to find out. We're being lied about everything that social media blocks. Here's a test. If spreading medical misinformation is a no-no and will lead to your account being shut down, here is a sound piece of advice. Everybody want to know how to prevent cancer? I'm going to tell you exactly how to prevent cancer. Smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day, and then you'll guarantee to live a long life. Hey, is that medical misinformation? If it is, my account should be shut down by morning. But if I mention, the thing they stick in your arm or the thing they put over your face and then question them, my account is shut down in a heartbeat. I won't even or can't even say the words. I wonder if George Carlin would need to add the words vaccine and masks to the list of words you can't see on television. Well, if we continue to allow the Democrats, like you, Ken Gold, to keep control of the government and the FBI, the Constitution will be meaningless. I really hope Trump gets back into office, and this time the swamp will not only be drained, it will literally be blown up. All right, let's talk about the Artemis Rocket. Well, it appears that the government is concerned that private companies are beating them to the rocket and space exploration game, and they aren't going to stand for it, and they aren't going to stand by and watch it. They have decided to take our tax dollars and spend $20 billion on a rocket to the moon. Well, sort of. You guys all remember the Apollo missions? When the U.S. sent astronauts to the moon and they walked on the moon collecting rocks and other samples? Remember how the science fiction writers all wrote about the moon bases and more space exploration coming? Well, whatever happened to all that? Many question if the astronauts actually did walk on the moon and if the whole thing was just maybe staged to look like it happened. Maybe it didn't, and the press was told by the FBI to suppress anyone who had knowledge of the truth and, of this fake, maybe this fake news media. I don't know. I don't think the FBI could do that. The FBI is honest and, and fair. Just ask Mark Zuckerberg and Joe Rogan. Anyway, knowing that we've seen Amazon and SpaceX take over the space exploration game, the government is about to launch the most powerful rocket called the Artemis. This rocket will not land on the moon. In fact, it won't even have any passengers. In fact, it's going to have mannequins in it. Yes, mannequins. 3 mannequins. It will simply fly into the sky and simply fly around the moon. Hey, NASA, have you heard of satellites? Don't they do the same thing? So we're spending $20 billion on this rocket that has no bigger purpose than actually pissing contests with Amazon and SpaceX. Hey, is this part of the Inflation Reduction Act? Or is it part of the Inflation Increase Act? Look, it's just $20 billion. That's only half of what Musk ordered for Twitter, so it can't be all that bad. So does the fact that we ended our moon launches and the fact that this rocket is unmanned and the fact that the FBI continues to suppress information make anyone more doubtful that men actually walked on the moon? Reality is certainly starting to alter in this world of lies and deceit. Am I here or am I really in bed sleeping? Someone out there, let me know if you can see me because I'm not even sure if I'm here. I'm so confused. By the way, the launch is scheduled for today. Look for this all over the media. By the way, before we take a break and I try to find out if I'm really here, and for me to actually decide whether I exist, I want to remind you about the Money Multiplier event coming up on 17th. Hey, go to 4mmw.com, 4mmw.com. Get your tickets before they're all sold out and before the internet breaks again. We have some great guests there who are leaders in financial education. You want to be there, go to 4mmw.com for your tickets right now. All right, let's take a break, and I will check out my existence. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and one of the most misunderstood things in America is money. That's why I've written this book. It's called Money Hacks, because everything you think you know about money is wrong. And I'm telling you, everything you think you know about money is wrong. When you read this book, you will learn things about money that you did not know. You will even learn if money can buy you happiness. I have a full chapter dedicated to that. You're going to definitely want to read that. I talk about how to use other people's money to buy real estate. I talk about how to save more money, and I even talk about how to rebuild your credit score in this book. There are 22 amazing chapters in this book. This book is now available everywhere. It's available on Amazon. It's available on barnesandnoble.com. And you can order this book right now, and you'll have it in 2 days, and you'll start learning things about money that you never knew before. So order the book right now. Go to Amazon, go to barnesandnoble.com, and order the book, Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse. All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, hey, I'd like to know if you'd like to be a sponsor on this show. Your name and product would be delivered to hundreds of loyal listeners and watchers of the show. Hey, look, as you know, we're expanding our base every day, and if you'd like to get your product or service out to my audience and help keep the show on the air, I'd love to have you as a sponsor. Hey, listen, if you've got a product you want me to sell for you, I will be more than happy to do it on the show. Just reach out via Messenger, send me an email to larrysteinhouseshow@gmail.com. That's larrysteinhouseshow@gmail.com. And by the way, don't forget to like the Spotify channel. Of course, you can subscribe to the channel and listen to all the reports. They're broken out for your enjoyment. Just look up Money Chat Now or Larry Steinhouse on Spotify, and you can subscribe there. So I have to look. I just started looking at some of the comments, and it's hysterical. So Ken, of course, right? He goes, laptop, haha. Maybe you should listen to what I said. I'm not even talking about the laptop. I'm talking about the fact that the FBI suppressed the information. That's the problem. And of course, he says normal people trust law enforcement. After that, you trust them. And then he says, of course, the final thing, he says, get vaxxed. Listen, Ken, I just want to let you know that this is day 720 that I could wake up in the morning and not have to worry about having myocarditis. All right, so far we've been discussing the fact that the Dow is still down about 240 points. The S&P is down 35, and the NASDAQ is down 138. We talked about Chinese stocks, and it's a possibility that they're going to start to pop. And I'm talking about the Chinese stocks that are listed on the New York Stock Exchange. We talked about the fact that the FBI controlled Facebook, and Ken thinks it's all about the laptop. This is where Democrats have a mental problem. And we talked about, of course, the Artemis Rocket. Coming up, we have today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button? Did you guys hit that share button yet? Come on, hit that share button. Hey, Ken, hit that share button and tell all your friends about the show. Let them know it's both entertaining and educational. Please share it on your page or share it in groups that you feel will also enjoy the show. And let's get into it in a minute and see what else is going on. All right. Hey, by the way, we got Bill and Joe saying hi, too. Oh, and Joe's interested in being a sponsor. That's great, Joe. Do me a favor, just send me a private message and we'll talk about that. Hey, it looks like we're going to see another bad day today. My only hope is that in the past, I've seen really bad days followed by bad mornings the next day and then a great recovery or a dead cat bounce. That is what I'm looking for today. However, I'd look at the bargains this morning. Meta is a bargain below 160. Apple is also a bargain at the same price. I would buy some, but if it happens to drop even 10 more points, I would add to your position at that point. Look, we need a catalyst to pump up the market, and I don't see much on the horizon. Look, if you're nervous, look for dividend-paying stocks like AT&T. Hold them, or we talked about also 3M earlier, hold them while selling covered calls and collecting the dividends. This is such a great idea. It's just a simple way to make a couple of bucks while you're waiting for the stock market to make more money. Netflix may be coming back into play as we're seeing a notable uptick in users that are actually using the service. So here's the difference. You got users who don't use the service, you got users who use the service, and Netflix has noticed that more people are tuning into Netflix. So it's possible, just possible, that that the people are having some trouble paying all their bills and go, okay, which streaming service do I want to cancel? And they probably canceled others and kept Netflix, so now they're watching Netflix. Netflix was beat up a few months ago, but it's back to the numbers it was in 2019, and that could be a sign of upward movement. The price per earnings is also finally something reasonable at about 20 times earnings. I remember when it was trading over 100 times earnings. I think at one point, I remember looking at it, it was 144 times earnings. I wouldn't be surprised if they offer a dividend in the future. That would be also great. So if Netflix starts to offer a dividend, and Apple and Facebook, these are going to become really great stocks. Hopefully, I'll be right around the turn. I will be right. Let me do that one more time. Hopefully, I will be right around, boy, it's really hard to say that, right about the turnaround today. But let's see what the futures look like. The Dow right now is up 256. The S&P, I'm sorry, down 256. The S&P is down 36, and the Nasdaq is up to 126. So if I'm right, these are going to be completely reversed. So these numbers will all be the opposite. I'm so hoping I'm right, and so are you, I'm sure. Crypto is also crashing with the stock market. It seems to be the way it is now. It used to be that the hideout, of course, when the market went down, people would go to cryptocurrency and they'd hide out there. But now it appears that the markets are running together, and Bitcoin is below 20,000 again, and Ethereum is below 1,500. I still say Bitcoin will go to 12,000, and from there it either recovers back to the 20s or it goes to 7,000. So I'd be really weary. I'd be waiting for that 12,000 mark. I think it's going to happen soon. I mean, when I say soon, before the end of the year, and then it may even go to 7,000 before the end of the year. However, if it hits 7,000, it'll be all over if Bitcoin doesn't become more of a prominent piece of real currency. My advice, stay away from crypto. It's whatever it was supposed to be, it's not going to happen, and whatever it was, it's no longer that. This is just plain, it really is. I mean, you can call it a Ponzi scheme, except that, there's no one running it. It's just whoever's going to pay more for it is the one who's going to be stuck with it. All right, let's talk about gold and silver, and they're also dogs, and they're also retreating as the market drops. I don't know, apparently there aren't many safe places for money at the moment. I don't know, does anybody have a mattress for sale maybe? Because there's really nothing or no place to go. It's terrible. All right, let's talk about Treasury bonds. The Treasury bond is moving up, and now it's about 3.12%, and this may be the place that the money is going, and that's where it's all going. The average mortgage rate for a 30-year fix is still below 6% at 5.91%. Listen, all you guys who are complaining about this 6% mortgage rate, stop. That's where it should be. I realize you guys missed the boat if you didn't get a mortgage earlier, but that's just too bad. Go get one anyway. Oil is about $94 a barrel, and the average gas price is now down to $3.85 a gallon. I know, $94 a barrel was quite a few times it hit $94 a barrel when it was $5 a gallon. So, those greedy oil companies, they were taking advantage of us. Yeah, whatever. All right, hey, I want to thank you all for watching Money Chat Now. Of course, we're live every morning at 7:30 on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And you can also find repeats of the show on Spotify. All right, everybody, make it a profitable day.